It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
All right, Brian, this next question is from Jesse S. Jesse said, I'm planning to go from a W-2 job to self-employed over the next few years. I don't know how deep my cash reserve should be for both personal and the business side. Any guidelines to help? Brian, you've used to be a W-2 employee, and then you switched over into the self-employed world. What did you do from a business planning standpoint, and how did you think about cash from a cash management standpoint?
Yeah, and look, there's several ways to think about this. Is that I need to first know there's several criteria, because we're in this new modern world where we have side hustles, and yes, you might be a W-2, but you're going to become more of an independent contractor where even though you're going self-employed, maybe you're just restructuring to where you know you're going to have money coming in. And that's a different situation than somebody who's leaving to go start a brand new enterprise. And why do I make this differentiation? Is because if you're starting a brand new enterprise, just know especially like my situation was, I was right at six figures. And then in my first year of starting a company, I made, I think, $15,000.
Stark contrast.
Stark contrast. So if I didn't have it, I can tell you from my own personal experience, I spent a few years not only creating the business plan, and realize when you create that business plan, you don't write what you think will happen or what you hope happens. You need to write 3 versions of your business plan. I'm talking about actually Excel spreadsheet where you're running projections with one, what you think is going to happen. You can also run, oh my gosh, I'm going to be rich, what you hope will happen. But you better run that third scenario that most people avoid running, which is, oh my God, I'm an idiot.
What if it
this
fails?
Thing is going to be a disaster. So you better run that scenario of how bad it could be, because that's going to allow you to figure out how much time can you build through having cash reserves to hopefully give you enough time to dog paddle, to recover, to get to that healthy position. I was fortunate that I had saved up, my wife and I had saved up about 50 grand when I started my company of cash. And we were living such a modest lifestyle at that point when we started that was enough to bridge going from 6 figures down to 15,000, that it was year 3 that I'd gotten back up to here. And I was still behind because I realized my retirement savings and all that stuff kind of went on the skids during that period. But it was enough time to have the cash to bridge that divide. Be realistic with yourself. Now, I did bring up the person who maybe it's a restructure or it's a side hustle or something where you know the money's coming in. It's now how do you structure it appropriately? For somebody like that, if you're trying to figure out the difference between being paid W-2 versus being self-employed as an independent contractor, take into account the self-employment taxes or the FICA and Medicare, because that's, you know there's going to be a 15.3% or 7.65 that now you're picking up not only the employer portion, but also the employer portion. Did I say that right?
Employee,
I say employee
and employer.
You pay employee and the employer. That's why it's 15.3 versus the 7.65%. And make sure you know health insurance and all the benefits and all that stuff that comes in. I feel like I'm shortchanging this side of the answer, but I think I've given you enough of the Scooby snacks so that you can hopefully follow the trail.
Here's another piece of advice I would give you as you think about going self-employed. And I see this problem all the time. When you're the boss and all the money is coming in and you have control of all of the money, it's really easy to get sloppy, right? Oh, I need some money. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to go buy this and I'm going to use this card for this. It makes a lot more sense if you keep things clean from the beginning. Let business stuff be business stuff and let personal stuff be personal stuff. Because when it does come time to do your taxes, or when it does come time to actually assess, is your business doing well or is it doing poorly? If you've got it all intertwined and intermingled with your personal finances, man, it's going to be hard to really discern what you truly have going on. Anything that you would add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I picked on you because you and your spouse, you ran Excel spreadsheets way too long. I do encourage people to get something like QuickBooks, get to a true accounting. But I want to close it out with one little piece of advice that I wish that my much wiser self, who's now had success, would have told the green version of myself that just didn't know what I didn't know. Do not, and this sounds so simple, but pay attention. Do not get busy doing nothing. Because what I was very guilty of when I first started my business was I had the cleanest set of financial books. It's the exact opposite. I think I bought QuickBooks right as I'm doing the I'm doing the operation documents, and that's, and going to the attorneys and that type of stuff. And I had the cleanest set of books, but what I should have been doing was trying to figure out where I was going to get business. And that's why I think that is a lot of us as business owners, we do what's comfortable. Mm-hmm. And for me, that was accounting. I knew accounting inside and out. So I was getting busy doing nothing. That was not incrementally adding any value to the growth of my company. And that's why I look back, it did take me 3 years to become a true entrepreneur versus an unemployed person that self-impose this restriction on yourself that's just not maximizing the opportunity. So get scared, use that fear to motivate you to go do the uncomfortable stuff. That there's a reason entrepreneurs make the money they do is because they do the crap that others aren't willing to do. Mm-hmm. And that's on yourself too. Go do the uncomfortable stuff so that you can be successful.
I love it.